gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Top of the morning, Raider Nation. What it do, and what it don't do. Happy Wednesday, humpback Wednesday. Hope all is well with each and every one of y'all, man. Hey, welcome to another episode of Good Morning Raider Nation live podcast right here on Raiders Allegiance with your boy Lunatic Raider, man. We're gonna dive into some stuff. We're gonna basically dig into a couple of parts of the interview that Von Miller had with Maxx Crosby, and we're going to dissect it coming from a player's perspective on the team about, what their goals are, his opinion about Tyree Wilson, about Jimmy G, all that going down, just a few parts from that interview. Good interview. A lot of good information taken from it, from Maxx Crosby, our dude, the Condor. So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Thank y'all for pulling up this morning. It's a pleasure to have each and every one of you guys. Salute you for making this show do what it do. You feel me? What's up with it? NorCal Raider Jesse's in the building, man. Hey, thank you for pulling up my brother. Thank you for being here. Let's see what else we got in here. We got Lobby1 Kenobi in the building. What's the deal, my dude? Tops to you. Thank you for being here. We got Raider Nation Jason in the building. Tops to you, man. For real. Let me see. Well, man, y'all in here acting for real. Y'all active. I like that shit. Egalitarian 207. What's up, my guy? Hey, top to you as well. You know what I mean? We all up in here. Robert Pena's in the building. The building's packed. Yes, sir, man. Hey, thank you for pulling up. Hold on, man. Let me see. Ooh, did I say the F word? Where the freak am I at? I say freak. YouTube better quit tripping. Bam. Let me see it. Go down. My dude, man. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Yes, sir. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Insided Mind, salute to you as well. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. Jorge C, man, my dude, man. What is the deal? Holly in the building. What's up, Miss Lady? Glad to have you here for real. Ray Love is in the house. Yes, sir. I see y'all, man. I see y'all out there, man. For real. You feel me? Oh, my goodness. It's Greg Lyra. Where you been, bruh? It's good to see you, man. Thank you for pulling up, for real. Let's see, man. Let me scroll on down here, down Beyonder. Let me get down here, Beyonder. Joe L.E.'s in the building, man. What's the deal? Top to you. Yes, indeed, man. Okay. She got me blocking with 19 people in the chat or watching. Shout out to all y'all, man. Hey, if this is your first time here, you know the routine. Hey, all I ask you to do is subscribe, hit that like, and anything else is civilized, not uncivilized. Anything else is civilized. Leave a comment, hit the notification bell. It's all gravy, baby. I ain't gonna judge you for the things you don't do. I'm gonna love you for the things you do. You feel me? Tony Shepard in the building, man. Tops to you. Thank you for being here. We had a dub right now. We got a dub. Shout out to the dubs. Hey, 2 red rings in the building. You know it's better than one. You feel me? Your favorite part of that interview? Oh yeah. When he said that, yep. He wanted to play with Max Crosby. I'm telling you, man. If you got the players, other players will come. That's one of the main reasons a lot of these players see themselves or end up in different colored uniforms because of other players that they always that they respect and be like, man, I want to go play with this dude. Exactly the same way that Chandler Jones did. He wanted to go to the Raiders because he wanted to play with Max Crosby. Can you blame him? Can you blame him? You know what I mean? That's a good decision. You feel me? Okay, let me see. Who else we got up in here, man? Who up in here, man? Man, who brought the food? Somebody got some food? Hey, who made the potato salad? Damn it! Don't you put no raisins in that shit? Hey, shout out to everybody, the Raider Nation in the building. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get into this, man, real quick one time. You feel me? Like I said, there was some good stuff in that interview I really like, but I would just want to pull portions. Digital Prayers, my dude, top of the morning. Thank you for being here, man, for real. 2 days in a row, man. Hey, a third time's a charm. I'm gonna get you tomorrow too. What? Nah, that's my dude, man. Let's see. Okay, that's it. All right, so like I said, Von Miller did an interview with Max Crosby. This is when they were out here in Vegas, when they were having his pass rushers little summit that he brings all professionals out to, and they all just get together, you know what I mean, pick each other's brain, discuss moves and whatnot. It's a good little camp-like thing, you know what I mean, for professionals that's in the league already. So it's a good thing for pass rushers. He definitely loves the fact that Max Crosby takes part in it. And it's a yearly event that he has now out here in Las Vegas. But there was a sit-down interview that Max had with Von Miller. Von Miller asked him some good questions, good feedback from Max Crosby on the state of the Raiders, as well as his opinion of a couple of players on the team as well. We're going to dive into that now. I'm going to bust down into 4 parts. You know what I mean? Because these Mickey Fickies don't let you upload too long of a video, which they need to do something with it. All right. So I'm gonna start with I can do him then. Let's do let me see. Should I do this one right?
And now Brady and the ownership. Do you think these guys have brought that winning Patriot culture to the Raiders?
Yeah, I think they have. It's different. A lot of people talk about the Patriot way and how it is, but I think having a mixture of, obviously they're bringing what they brought from Bill Belichick in New England, but the Raiders' history is super deep. And like this last week, we had all the Raider legends, freaking Charles Woodson, Ted Hendricks, all the legends come in, and they got to be with our coaches. And it was just awesome to see everybody, kind of getting on the same page, because the Raiders will never change. The Raiders are always going to be the Raiders, going to be the bad boys of the league. And that's what we're trying to bring back. But at the same time, New England brings winning as well. Mm-hmm. And the Raiders have won a lot in the past. So if we bring both of those cultures together, and bring in the right guys, I think, we're going to do a lot of great things.
And I agree. We are rich in history as well. But for the move of bringing Ziegler and McDaniels here, along with the coaches of their selection, you can't knock the winning culture that the Patriots have, which under Bill Belichick. You can't knock that. So I think what the whole thing was, we're not New England West. You know what I mean? People just say that because of the personnel. But what it is the fact that that organization happens to be the organization that has more rings than any other organization. You know what I mean? So if you're going to hope to build your franchise to be that next in line, to be that dominant franchise for decades, then why not pluck the personnel that help make that happen and develop that culture there and bring it here, but do it our way? You know what I mean? Just like they said, the playbook that Josh McDaniels has is not exactly the same as what he had in New England. you got to remember, he was not the HNIC, the head new guy in charge. You know what I mean? No, that's not what it means, lunatic. I know. But look, you know what I mean? But Bill Belichick was. So, of course, Belichick is going to chime in and say exactly what type of offense he wanted. And you know that McDaniels would have to tailor to that. Him being a coordinator, not a head coach, he would have to tailor his offense to the liking of Bill Belichick. Now that McDaniels is full-fledged head coach, now he can go ahead and tailor his offense in a more fashionable way that wasn't done in New England. You know what I mean? Which, you know what I mean? Our run game last season, New England doesn't have a bell cow, never had a bell cow to run the ball. It was always done by committee. But Josh Jacobs did his damn thing, so they kept feeding. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They kept feeding him, and he kept chunking off yards. You implemented that into your offense. You know what I mean? New England didn't have a wide receiver like Devontae Adams until they had at one time Randy Moss. But when they didn't have Randy Moss, their offense didn't look like that without Randy Moss. It took the addition of a caliber type player like Randy Moss for you to tailor your offense to the strengths, which was Randy Moss. You run him down, you run him long, I guarantee you he's going over anybody getting that damn ball. That was your deep ball. You know what I mean? So you get somebody like Devontae Adams here. Now you tell your offense to the fact of him being that number one wide receiver, which the Raiders had not had in years. You know what I mean? But you tailor it to him, to the strengths. And that's what the players been saying. And the coaches. You know what I mean? McDaniels came out and said that we're going to try a different way of doing things to make this better. And that's what you do. You don't be stubborn and stuck in your ways and be like, damn it, you punk ass square peg, you going to fit in this round hole. You don't do that because it's not going to happen. You cut them corners off, though, you got action. So he cut the corners. He cut the corners off the square peg. It's like, look, we're going to disregard your weaknesses and we're going to focus on your strengths and implement your strength at this position in the starting lineup for this offense. You know what I mean? So, I mean, at least he sits and he understands that the evolution of your defense and offense doesn't stop. Is every year, what can you do to get better? You always bring in new personnel and you always lose personnel, so you have to adjust accordingly. You know what I mean? You don't just, when some of the guys leave and and new guys come in, you don't keep doing it the same way, because the guys that came in might not have the same skill level or strengths and weaknesses as the ones that left. So you have to tailor either what you're doing on defense or offense to fit your pieces. And that's what they've been doing. That's why Devontae ate like he did with touchdowns, because that was go-to. In the red zone, go-to. Shit, you couldn't go to Waller, he was hurt. That would have been your other target in the red zone. So you had to go to Devontae, which Devontae ate. And there was a couple of times that Waller got in the way of Devontae catching a couple of more touchdowns. So you would have had more touchdowns than what he had. To be honest, I seen it. You go back and watch. I told people that, like, no, Waller was supposed to get that ball. Bullshit. I seen plays whenever there was a play when I seen Devontae Adams in the back of the end zone, tippy-toeing inside before he touched the line, setting himself up to catch the ball. And then coming from the other direction, here come Waller, trying to make the catch. And then you seen Devontae go like this. You know what I mean? So I knew there was time. Hell, just like when you seen times when Renfro ran into Devontae Adams. It was always Devontae Adams getting banged up on, getting interfered with by his own players. Because you remember, he said in his interview when he was on that other show, Devontae that is, he said he studied his ass off because he was not going to be the one to run the wrong route. Guess who ran the wrong routes? The ones that didn't study like he did. Because Devontae, just put it like this. What do you think Devontae is going to do in year 2 in the same system? You know, year 1 is just your implementing season. That season was just you implement your offense and you analyze and assess the personnel that's there when you got there. Do they fit what we're trying to do? If they don't, we got to let them go. And if we do let them go, we got to find the replacements. Look what happened. Look what happened. Name me the players that see, and a lot of people didn't talk about this. Name me the players that left this team. The position. Look at the positions that left this team. Now look at the positions that they added. Oh, why are they the same? Exactly. Exactly. They went and drafted the replacements of the players they let go. Let me see. Jonathan Abram left. He was a safety. Oh, what about Christopher Smith? Wasn't he a safety we drafted? Bingo. Bingo. You know what I mean? Then you look at quarter. What happened to Rock Ya-Sin? Oh, Bennett got drafted, right? Oh, bingo. Mac Hollins, he left the free agency. What did we do? Oh, well, Mac Hollins, he was special teams and he was a wide receiver. What did they go do? They drafted a wide receiver that did special teams also. Trey Tucker, replacement, bingo. Go down the line. Go down the line. Go down the line. Go down the line. Man, even Farrell that left and went to the where did he go? To the Niners? Bingo, Tyree Wilson. You know what I mean? A bigger, longer, faster, more athletic. They went and replaced everybody they let go. They replaced in the draft. The key people, the people that we looked at. Like for instance, didn't we trade Hank what you call it to Dallas, the defensive tackle? Who did we draft? Who did we draft? Mr. Young? Byron Young? Defensive tackle? Bingo. Another replacement in the draft. I sat back and looked. I'm like, they went and replaced all the ones that didn't fit what we were doing. They went out and replaced them with the ones that do fit. At every position. We can keep going. And there's replacements of and these are starters we're talking about. They went and replaced these starters. They let them walk because they didn't fit what we were trying to do on both sides of the ball. It wasn't just offense. It wasn't just defense. I know people like, why are we drafting offense? Because we let some of these offensive players go, or we traded them. We traded them or let them go. You let Stidham go. What happened? The backup? Oh, shit. O'Connell got drafted. Another replacement. Well, why do you go out there and go get old ass what's his name as backup? Because he's a wealth of knowledge of the system. That's all. Come on, you know there ain't no future for that dude here, man. Hoyer, ain't no future. But now you take a guy like O'Connell, and with the things that they're saying about O'Connell in these OTAs and mini camps, is the man's accuracy, the way he's flinging the ball. Okay, so how do you groom somebody like this? You groom them with a wealth of knowledge at all around them, 360 degrees. And who would that be? You got Garoppolo, knows the system. Hoyer knows the system. Even Garver's 1 year in the system. This guy, just look at the quarterback room is filled with quarterbacks that has been in the system at least 1 year. A beautiful place for a rookie to go be groomed and coached up. O'Connell ain't going to be the starter. He's not the starter or the backup. But look at the knowledge he has. In the quarterback room, if he has questions, there's more than 1, 2, 3 people to answer it. 3 people to answer it. Okay, this is what you do, O'Connell, Aiden. When you in the offense and you call this play, blah, blah, this is what you look for. This is your reads. You know what I mean? He has that. He's surrounded by that now. So they went out there and drafted all the replacements of the starters. And not just all starters, because Stidham was backup. But he goes to Denver. So you go and you draft your own guy. The same way they drafted Stidham. You know what I mean? With New England, the same way they drafted all their quarterbacks. You know what I mean? That came in. They went out and got them. And I don't care if it's undrafted or not. It's still they draft pick. They signed with them. They had a choice. Hell, that's even more miraculous to get an undrafted to come here. You know, there's other teams, but I mean, money talk. Just like that, like Wagner and McClinton. What's his name? Clinton. whatever the hell his name is from Tennessee, Chattanooga, they gave them a quarter meal ticket to come wear the silver and black. And Wagner, where was he? Is it his hometown where he's from? I think he's from Pennsylvania. I think Pittsburgh wanted him, if I remember right. But the Raiders came in and made it rain. Made it rain on their ass. You know what I mean? All right. So that's just the breakdown of that. As far as Max Crosby on the team. Let's hear about Max Crosby. Since we talked about Jimmy G, let's hear what he said about Jimmy G.
From a defensive end's point of view, what makes Jimmy G an elite quarterback?
I think with Jimmy, ever since he's gotten the league, he's always, been the guy that, first off, he was the guy behind Brady. So they're like, all right, he's going to be the predecessor to Brady, and he always kind of got the short end of the stick, I feel like. And it's almost impossible. Tom Brady's in front of you. He's won 7 Super Bowls. Yeah. It's almost unfair. But, what he brings is just that dog mentality. Ever since he's been in there, obviously all the reports come out and people are talking about, his injuries and things like that. I see that dude in the building every day. I'm in the hot tub and he's in there getting rehab and he's working and he's already on the field doing what he's doing. And I just feel like he's a winner and that's proven. He's won a lot more than he's lost since he's been in the league, no matter where he's been. So I'm fired up for him. I've been around him a ton and he brings a great energy to the locker room and the guys are already loving him. So we're just fired up to get him out there in training camp and fire off.
See, and this is from a player such as Max Crosby, and like Von Miller asked him, from a defensive end's point of view, which, that's the guy that's constantly at the quarterback. What do you see in Jimmy G? He's a dog. When healthy, Jimmy G can get the job done. When healthy. And like I tell people, when we look at the whole scenario of Jimmy G running this offense, don't just limit it to him. Don't just look at Jimmy G and be like, oh, his injuries or his shortcomings when he's not on the field, getting hurt all the time. Don't look at it like that. And what you want to look at is what's around Jimmy G. What's around him? It's kind of like, look, me becoming a point guard in the NBA, right? I'm short. I ain't dunking on nobody no more. You know what I mean? Yeah, I used to be able to dunk. I got vertical. You know what I mean? Even at my old ass age, I did the vertical thing at the where were we at? Me and my son went to what was that? Oh, when we had the draft out here and they had the vertical thing, I still have a 35-inch vertical and I'm fucking 50. You know what I mean? So, yes. In my early age, I can get up there. But put me on the court, no NBA experience. That's truth right there. But I can play ball. I'm not like elite NBA type. That ain't hell no. But to be able to play point guard, just imagine you put me on the court and I got Michael Jordan, I got Shaq, I got Kobe. You see what I mean? Around me. How can I fail? All I got to do is just give them the ball. I ain't got to shoot shit. I'll have 30 assists in the fucking game. Okay, now let's look at Jimmy G. You got Renfro, Adams, Josh Jacobs, Jacoby Myers. You see where I'm getting with this? The potential of a Michael Mayer developing. You know what I mean? Dude, all he got to do is get them the ball. He ain't got to be the man making the big, fantastic play that's going to be on Sports Center. Nah, he can be boring as fuck. Be boring as Jimmy G. I don't care. Hey, you call him handoff Jimmy, right? Some people call him that. Do you mind him handing off to Josh Jacobs? My point exactly. Look at the weapons around Jimmy. That you're only as good as what you're going to have. Like, for instance, we always say that Carr couldn't do what we wanted him to do as far as getting to the playoffs, winning, and carrying us further because he lacked the talent around him. And that was fact. He made number one receivers that weren't number one receivers because that's all he had to go to. That's it. Zay Jones, he goes gets the big payday in Jacksonville because of him being he had to be the number one with us because that's all we had. You know what I mean? And you go look at everybody else. I mean, when you force feed somebody, of course they're gonna get the numbers. That's the only fucking outlet you got. You know what I mean? That's the only outlet you got. So I look at Jimmy G and I want to look at what's around him. He got weapons, bruh. Bruh. You mean to tell me the weapons that we got on this team can't get open? Running or play, route running? You mean Renfro's horrible at route running? Adams is horrible? You don't think Michael Myers is going to dominate when he gets a chance? Because he looks like the kind of fool, you put the ball in his hand, he's just waiting to hit the motherfucker. Like, I wish you would try to tackle me. You know what I mean? I wish you would. Your dick is in the dirt. You know what I mean? I like Mayer, dude. I like Mayer. And then, not to mention, you're going to force defenses to be in a compromising position. You're going to have to make them choose. Because with Trey Tucker added into the mix with that speed, Philip Dorsett with that speed, you know what I mean? Now you look at the offense as a whole. It's the same way I told all you guys, and I said maybe we're looking at this wrong. We're up here so worried about, and see, the offense is not the same as the defense, because the offense actually has big names. You know what I mean? As in this offense. Just imagine that together. But I'm thinking that they're more relied on the totality of the offense working together and the totality of the defense working together rather than individual names. Like people talk about Spillane. Don't you sleep on Spillane. Don't you? You mean you don't think Spillane has help in front of him and behind him? Let's take a look. We talk about the linebackers. See, we got young ass linebackers. They still got to develop. I'm not impressed with Butler. I'm not impressed with Masterson. They have to develop. They have to. You know what I mean? They're young. What you think they're going to come in day one and be Pro Bowlers? Hall of Famers, year one? They got to develop. So how do you create a scenario where they can develop as you go? Well, give them help. Who's the development in front of him? That's all veterans. Who's the development behind him? That's veterans too. You know what I mean? If you're going to have Nate Hobbs out there and you got Moehrig, which he's not a rookie. This is his third year he's going into. You know what I mean? You got Marcus Epps, veteran. Shelley, veteran. You surround them with veterans, and these not old, long in the tooth, in their mid-30 type veterans. These is in their mid-20s. These are mid-20 free agents we signed. That one was in the Super Bowl this last year with Philadelphia. The other one was on a team that makes playoffs, you know what I mean, with Minnesota. Then you get Spillane, who comes from a team whose cloth is cut from defense. That's when you think Pittsburgh, you think defense. Linebackers and the secondary, safeties. Safeties and linebackers is what you think of when you think of Pittsburgh. Because historically, that's what they've been had hitters. They had hitters at safety and linebacker through their history. It ain't new to them. It ain't new to them. So you get Spillane, who was a green dot. Yes, it was because of injury, but they had to pick somebody. And he's only been in the league, 4 years, Spillane? Spillane is a go-getter. You said you want somebody who was a dog? He's a dog. No quit. Refuse to lose. I refuse to lose. Fuck your 22s. Shout out to Brother Lynch, huh? You know what I mean? That's just the cloth he's cut from. He comes from Pittsburgh. That's all they know. Defense. That's all they know. And through all these decades that team existed, defenses, come on now. They didn't call the steel curtain because of the offense. The steel curtain was the defense nickname. You wasn't getting through the steel curtain. That's what they were known for. And that's where Spillane comes from. So Spillane is gonna have youth around him. We got a rookie we drafted. That's a linebacker. Forgot dude name. Another young dude. And then you got 2 second-year linebackers in Masterson and Darian Butler, who are undrafted, that's on the roster. They're still developing. Now, I'm pretty sure they'll have a better year 2 than a year 1 just for being in the system for a year under their belt, so they know what's expected of them. Because that's what all the players that's first time in the system last year, they said they're moving. The people that go watch the OTAs and the mini camp sat there and said it. It looks like they're moving a lot more fluently. They're running to the next drills. They know exactly what to expect, what to do. That's what happens when you're in something for a while and it becomes muscle memory. And they're still developing as players. But I get you. You'll see a little bit of the rust knocked off of them due to the fact that they have that year experience under their belt that they can go back and take from. You know what I mean? So you got these young linebackers, right? So in order to let them play, but help them develop at the same time, you surround them with good young veterans that they got their back. They got their back that can help tell them where to be. Spillane, he's going to, hey, you know what I mean? Let these guys know. He's going, and that's another thing they notice in these OTAs is that they're very vocal. This team they're talking and communicating, and that's how you begin to establish the foundation of playing as a unit. Communication, where everybody you put everybody in the right place, and they all know what to do. Then when the ball snaps, they all move together. That's what you want. But I think they went out there and this is what they're doing. You know what I mean? So what if the linebackers, they surrounded the linebackers? Look what's in front of them. You got Max Crosby. You got Chandler Jones. You added Tyree Wilson that's going to have to learn too, but look at his teachers. Remember we talked about O'Connell in the quarterback room? What does the defensive end room look like? For a young rookie. A couple of them, because Adam Plant, they gets praised, bro. And I told y'all when we went and signed him as an undrafted, I went back, watched his tape, looked at his measurables. I said, hey, don't you sleep on Adam Plant. Keep your eye on him. Keep your eye on him. And lo and behold, Max Crosby and the rest of the gang is saying the same shit. I seen it. He remind me of a Tyree Wilson. This guy is just as long. You know what I mean? Right there, measurables. Tyree, 6'6", 275. You get Adam Plant, 6'5", 260. Tyree Wilson got a ridiculous 86-inch wingspan. Adam Plant, 80 3/4. That, like I said, Max Crosby is at 81 inches. This guy's only a quarter of an inch off of Max Crosby. And Max Crosby's known for his wingspan, thus the nickname, the Condor. Bruh, I'm telling you, Ziegler, when it comes to looking under every rock for talent, this motherfucker looked under every rock, bruh. Even the rocks that nobody else wanted to lift and look under. He said, man, fuck that. Go get me a forklift. We about to lift up this boulder and see what the hell underneath this thing. And lo and behold, they go get undrafted that, like, we sit here and we're hearing about these guys like they done did it again. But this time, I think they were more prepared this year because they had a full year to be able to prepare for free agency, undrafted, and the draft. Unlike last season. Last season, they didn't become coaches. Coach McDaniels didn't become coach until January 31st. January 31st. That means no days in January did they get to start building their scouting department. That's why they let a lot of these scouts go last year. They had to keep the scouts that was here already and add a couple as they went along. You can't go get you gonna get scouts in February? How you gonna go get scouts in February and college football's over with? Who they scouting? You know what I mean? They didn't even have no college football to go scout. So they kept what they had. They go in the second year and they get rid. That's why you started hearing a lot of these scouts getting released. These weren't their scouts that they wanted to bring, but they needed the scouts that already had information there with the previous regime. that started their scouting already. You know what I mean? It's like you trying to take a test, and I don't have my notes because I wasn't here to take notes, but you did take notes, and I got to go off your notes, and you might not be the greatest of note takers. But I'm limited, so I have to, you know what I mean, at least pull something off of what you wrote note-wise. That's the same with the scouts that were already here. They might have been scouting players that I know don't fit my system. But what players did you scout that could? You know what I mean? And you didn't have like a shitload of draft picks anyway. You traded 1 and 2 to get Devontae, which is a fantastic ass move. Come on now, the best receiver in football. Hands down. The dude he's just built different. So that was a hell of a move. So you come in January 31st, you get named head coach. You got February, and then free agency is in 2 months. Not even 2 months, a month and a half. A month and a half, you had to be ready for free agency as a head coach. Because as soon as you got named, you got to start getting your assistant coaches. You know what I mean? You got to put your staff together. How long is that going to take? It ain't going to happen overnight. So they were limited in year 1, but we knocked them like, oh, they only won 6 games. Bruh, they was under the fucking gun. What the fuck you was hoping for? You had a month and a half for free agency? And then right behind free agency, you had the following month, the draft? So 2 months is enough time you need to have everything ready. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? That's why I said, man, motherfuckers, you got to sit back and break it down. Don't analyze the final move. Analyze what they had to go through to get to that move. You know what I mean? That's why I think this draft way better than last year's draft. Hey, let me see a show of hands in the chat. If you think this year's draft was way better than the draft last year, let me get a hell yeah. Let me get a stone cold hell yeah. You know what I mean? I know it was. I bet my left testicle on that shit all day long. All day long. There, see? Now, since we believe that it was a better draft, why was it a better draft? Because they had time to analyze, bust this shit down, and knew exactly who they were going after. They knew this is their board. I think they actually went out there and got the guys that they really wanted. You know what I mean? Hey, come on now. We all know this. Hey, shout out to Raider Critique, my dude. I missed a couple of you guys that came in here. I got y'all now, though. Alfredo the Boss with the sauce in the building. MA5, the good stuff. Yes, Raider Goon, my dude. I see y'all, man. Let me see. Sebastian. Got you. Like I said, I ain't leaving none of y'all behind. Fuck that. Y'all riding with me shotgun. You feel me? We shotgun with it this morning. James Furpo. Tops. Raphael's in the building. What's the deal, man? Tops. I see y'all, man. I'm not going to forget y'all. Fuck that. Y'all ride with me. I'm riding with you. Come on, let's go. All right. So we bust this shit down, right? Okay, now let's go on to the next little, that's why I said I like busting it down like this because then we could take time to discuss it as we go. All right, so we talked about Jimmy G this past time. Now let's talk about what the team goal is for this season.
What are your goals for the team this season?
Number one is get in the playoffs first. You know,
easiest
everyone
way,
says
the easiest way to get to the playoffs is to win the division.
Yeah, win the division. That's obviously running through the Chiefs. So we know what that comes with. They're a great team, but yeah, we have a ton of goals. I don't want to make any predictions or anything like that, but I feel like if guys keep showing up the way they're showing up, in OTAs we had the whole entire team there. Devontae Adams. You know, he could be wherever he wants to be. That dude is there every single day. Myself, Chandler Jones, everybody's in the building trying to get this thing right, and that's the first step. So I feel like everybody's doing their part, and we just got to keep going and riding that momentum. And yeah, you know, the first step is just getting in the playoffs, and then, you know, go from there.
Now what their focus is, the playoffs. The playoffs. And that's all you got to do. Set you a goal. Now go get that shit. And like he said, we just got done talking about personnel in the draft and free agents that they did better this year than last year. So now you got the personnel to go ahead and achieve that goal. Go get it. Go get it, young fella. Go get it. You know what I mean? They're building this team correctly. They're doing it. And hey, my hat's off to Ziegler. Hey, bruh. You got an eye. You got an eye for talent. That's hands down factual. Because I look at the talent that we got that were undrafted, and I sit back, and the whole thing, the way I break it down is, for 7 rounds, no team drafted them. None. No team drafted them. Adam Plant wasn't drafted. Ridiculous. Go watch his tape. Watch his tape. Now they might want to try to knock him because mid-major at UNLV, but he started off at TCU, come back home. But the man had. Remember, I told you, if you have the God-given talent or measurables, and you got the work ethic to put with it, I give you I show you an example of what happens when you have God-given talent and you don't have the work ethic. Watch this. Jamarcus Russell. That's what happens when you have God-given talent, but you don't have the work ethic to put with it. Jamarcus Russell. That's it. If Jamarcus Russell had work ethic, hands down, he would have been a hell of a quarterback, because all the physical ability he had that God gave him, that he did not have to practice to do, that he was born with, his size, his stature, his arm strength, if he would have had the work ethic. Now, I'm going to show you an example where you don't have the ability, but you do have the work ethic. Still nothing. Y'all ready? This is what happens when you don't have that physical ability, but you do have the work ethic. Tim Tebow. See? So when you don't have both, either or, whether it's the God-given or the work ethic, a lot of the times nothing comes from it. You become a failure. That's what to me a bust is. But you can't really knock somebody. You can't call somebody a bust who doesn't have the physical ability. You know what I mean? It's something that you were born with that you can't teach or groom. But work ethic, anybody can do the work ethic. You just got to push yourself. And they went out there and they got all these guys with work ethic. And a lot of the times, work ethic will get you by so far. Like Tim Tebow, he wasn't the greatest accurate thrower. His throwing motion was horrible. You know what I mean? But it was the work ethic that kept him employed. Because he worked hard. He wanted, you know what I mean? He just didn't have it. He just didn't have it. If you would have took here's a perfect quarterback. Take Tim Tebow's work ethic and give it to Jamarcus Russell's God-given ability. What kind of quarterback do you have? You think Josh Allen was a big quarterback, hard to bring down? What you think Jamarcus Russell would have been? You know what I mean? Name the guys with the best throwing arms. You think they would have been able to be a match with Jamarcus Russell with that kind of work ethic? That's why I said if you have both, you're blessed. You're blessed. And I think we went out there and got guys that look at it. Look at our draft picks. And when I say God-given ability, it could be speed, it could be height, it could be wingspan, it could strength. And that's everybody on this team, but they all got work ethic. They all have the same work ethic. Adam Plant measurables, what he's born with. God-given, work ethic, induced, self-induced. You know what I mean? Fucking Bennett, speed, work ethic. Trey Tucker, speed, work ethic. and strength, lower body strength, the way he squats, willing to go out there and be gunner on special teams. You know what I mean? It's just when you Aiden O'Connell had to bust his ass to be the starter at Purdue. That's work ethic gets you from being a walk-on to being a starter. That's work ethic. But he had the God-given ability of that arm and being intellectually smart. They said he's a very bright young man. That's why grabbing this offense is not going to be as hard as maybe to some whose intellect is not ranked up there high. You know what I mean? Somebody that you might have to really sit down and work with. Kind of like students in school. Every student wasn't the same. Some students struggled on certain classes and others excelled. You get that with sports too. Some excel with the classroom work, learning the playbook. Hey, some people learn the playbook and it's nothing. I think Aiden O'Connell is one of them dudes. But then you got quarterbacks that sometimes you have to sit with and, you know what I mean, help them along, like being a tutor. Some students are the tutor, and they're in the same class with the one struggling. You know what I mean? So you get that. And I think Aiden O'Connell is one of those guys that's smart enough to be able to grasp it, and especially with like I said, the wealth of information around him in the quarterback room. He has the head coach to turn to, offensive coordinator, 3 quarterbacks has been in the system. Not just that. Look at the receivers. They've been in the system. He can talk to Devontae Adams. Since I'm throwing it to him on a certain play call, he can say, hey, look, this is what you got to do in this play. He was here last year in it. He studied the playbook. That's another bright dude. Devontae Adams, that's another God-given ability with him that's overlooked. His intellect, because he studied that book. He said he wasn't going to be the one out there making the mistakes, and sure enough, you know what I mean? But yeah, God-given ability and work ethic, boy, will push you so far and give you a long career. If you have those, if you got something God gave you, like I said, there's a many of different things that God could bless you with. But that one thing of work ethic, that's something that you can bring to the table. You know what I mean? So, hey, I look forward to seeing this shit develop for real. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. The next thing we're going to talk about defensive ends. We talked about Tyree Wilson. We talked about Adam Plant. So let's hear it from someone who's a defensive end himself with Pro Bowl appearances, Mr. Max Crosby, what his breakdown is of Tyree Wilson as well as some of the other defensive ends that we carry. Oh, shit. Let's go to this here. All right.
I know we talked a little bit about Tyree Wilson earlier in the show, but the Raiders took him at the number 7th pick. And, I love to put my GM hat on. Y'all got the number 7th pick. Y'all got a loaded team. And y'all go and get a defensive end, Tyree Wilson. And what that tells me is this guy is ready to play. This guy is the real deal. I know you haven't seen him practicing, but I know you can get a lot just by, talking to a guy. How's his mindset? What do you like about Tyree so far?
Yeah, he's a quiet kid. He's got all the ability in the world. The dude is, I think, 6'5", 275. He's a huge frame, great athlete, and it really comes down to putting in the work. And I see him doing that. He's doing that every day. As a rookie, there's a lot of things going on. He's got, you're a top 10 pick. You got all the media stuff, all this going on, but he's been focused, and that's the main thing that I take away from him. He's locked in. He wants to get back out on the field with us. He's been awesome since he's been there. The first day we got there, we got a text from, our D-line coach saying, the rookies are asking what y'all want, in the D-line room, and you know how it is. That's something small, but it's important. Yeah. And they showed up and stacked the whole D-line room with snacks and everything. So, yeah, they're doing all the right things. And obviously, Byron Young as well from Alabama, Nesta, Adam Plant Jr. We got a bunch of guys, on the D-line, 6 new, rookies coming in.
That's hard. I got Adam Plant Jr. That's my dog, man. Yeah, I seen Adam Plant Jr. grow up since he was in junior high school, man. I didn't know he was with the Raiders, man.
Yeah, he's with the Raiders, cool. Man. His dad is a great dude, too.
Yeah, he is. So, shout out to Big Plant.
Big Plant.
And see, What'd he say? He has all the ability, but he has to put in the work, and that's what he's been doing. Work ethic and God-given ability. There you go again with Tyree Wilson and Adam Plant. Bruh. Ziegler and them did they fucking homework this year, bruh. I'm glad they finally had a full year, calendar year, to go ahead and put in the work, get the scouts that you need to go out there and look under every rock, every bridge, at the bottom of every river, you know what I mean, to find talent with work ethic and availability, or not availability, but ability. And I'm telling you, you got a whole team of Max Crosby's, because that was Max. Max said it. He didn't do too good. In that same interview, he said he didn't do too good his rookie year because they was talking about it. He said he had to go up against Big Boy, who that we got from New England. He said, man, that motherfucker, what was he, 6'8", 380? I forgot, man, his name. He's been gone for a minute. God dang it. Y'all go. I know y'all gonna say it in the chat. Hey, shout out to Raider Room, man. Thank you all. Thank you for pulling up. Willie Wayne, salute to you as well, my brother. I gotta make sure I got you guys, man. You know what? Hey, thank y'all for pulling up. Let's see who else we had in here. I think that was it that just came in. Ray Love, Holly's in the building. Joel E. Yeah, we solid. We solid. No stone unturned. They went out there and they did the due diligence. Due diligence. They took their time, went out there, scouted, and bruh, they came back with the bounty. Like a pirate. You know what I mean? Hey, we went out there and pillaged the talent. That's what we did. Trent Brown, that's right. Hey, JT Higgs, thank you. Thank you. I'll be drawing a blank, man. Hey, yes, Trent Brown. Max said his rookie year, dude was owning him. But, you know, he said everybody would like kind of shy away from going heads up against Trent Brown in practice. He said, nah, to hell with that. If I gotta show them that I can do this. You know what I mean? And I guess they said the coaches was originally wanting him to be like a third down type defensive end. He's like, no, hell no. You gonna leave me on the field. So he busted his ass. That kind of work ethic, you know what I mean? Where you're putting in the work to be great. So it's like, man, I'm confident, I'm optimistic in this team, because now you're getting what you need to make this thing go. Last year we were expecting the playoffs, you know what I mean? And foolishly I was included, because I was looking at the fact the year before Ziegler and them got here, we were a playoff team. But to be realistic, that playoff team was 4 years in that system that got them there. So why we give that team 4 years to make the playoffs, being in that system, but us, we had to do it in one. You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense to me. You know, you got to allot them the same amount of time to build this team into that's what Gruden and them had to do. Didn't they trade away big names and brought in people and build the team that fits what they were trying to do? And it took them 4 years to get to the point of making the playoffs. I don't think this team is going to take that long. You know what I mean? I think they got a blueprint, and the blueprint is known to work. It's known to work. You know what I mean? It's known to work, and I think that I think just because of the mentality, bruh, the mentality of these players. I'm put it like this: once the season starts, and I'm gonna tell you, here's the trendsetter in this year's season. And this is exactly what's going to dictate to us what kind of team we have. The first 2 games we have are on the road, right? Regular season. If the Raiders hit the road and win those 2 games on the road and start off 2-0, it's fucking over. It's over. You heard me say that. It's over. It's over. It's over. Give those young players a taste of victory when they do it the way that the coaches tell them to do it to be successful, and they go out there and do it, and they become successful. And you hit the road. The first 2 games of your season is on the road. That means that's 2 home games you ain't got to worry about now. You got more. I mean, that's 2 road games you ain't got to worry about. You got more home games left than you have road games. We got 8. We got 8 road games this year, right? Because we got that 1 extra home game. We got 9 home games this year. I think 9. So if we got 9 home games and 8 road games, and you come out the gate, the first 2 road, now you got 9 home games and 6 road games left. Come on, bruh. If they go 2-0, and this is gonna set everything up. The Raiders go 2-0. If they go 2-0 coming out the gate on the road, bruh, this team is I want to see how they win. But just any kind of victory on the road. I don't care if it's come from behind, score a field goal, and win it. On the road is hard to do, especially in the first 2 games of the season when you got a lot of new pieces out there playing. But if you can pull that off, I'm guarantee you, watch your ass. Watch your ass. Not wash your ass. Watch it with your eyeball. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Gravy in the building, man. Tops to you. The good stuff. What's the deal? Yeah, you say luck, but luck plays a big part in a lot of shit. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, it was luck that the Colts called a timeout when, you know what I mean, that kind of shit. So sometimes luck is in your favor. The immaculate reception, luck. Tuck rule, luck. Lucky that the ref thought about it like, oh, there is a rule called the tuck rule. No motherfucking referee knew about that shit. They forgot about it. It's a rule that's been tucked away that nobody ever even went to the rule book and say, oh, yeah, that's the tuck rule. It's so horrible of a rule, they got rid of it. So sometimes a little bit of luck can go a long way, too. A lot of these teams ain't just dominant like that. It was luck that Kansas City beat us when we played them last season. You know what I mean? In Kansas City. That was a close-ass game, and we went into overtime. So, you know, sometimes a little luck won't hurt. Raider Pete in the building, man. What's the deal? Top of the morning. So I'm excited. I'm optimistic. Just because of what everybody is saying. And that's all you can go by. You can only go by what the players say and what the coach is saying. Right now, the players and the coaches are saying the same exact thing, and they're talking about the same exact players. You add them draft picks. They're talking about them. You know what I mean? Like, bruh. Just go through the natural process. Let these guys absorb this playbook, know what they're supposed to do, and let's see what happens. Now, these young dudes are going to get their burn in preseason. And you know what? I'm glad. And here's another thing that nobody talks about, right? I'm going to give y'all, this is how, remember I said that if they come out the gate and they win 2 road games back-to-back like that, this is what's setting them up to do this. Look at the preseason schedule. Look how the preseason schedule is set up to run into the regular season. Your first game is at home against the Niners, right? But your last 2 preseason games are on the road. Against the Rams and the Cowboys. So now the young dudes get a taste of what it's like to play on the road in back-to-back games. Which you start off your season on the road in back-to-back games. That's going to be big. It's big to have your preseason because we got a lot of young guys that's going to have to get out there and play in preseason. They're going to play. We got a shitload of guys out there that's going to play. But now they actually get like a dress rehearsal of how the regular season is going to start on the road in back-to-back games. And nobody talks about that. But Lunatic got you. See, my mind works different. I talk about the shit that other people ain't even thinking about that's useful to what this team could use to go ahead and start off 2-0. You get a fucking dress rehearsal to go on the road with 2 back-to-back games before you start the regular season on the road in 2 back-to-back games. Boy, shout out. Hey, the NFL trying to set us up to go to the Super Bowl, y'all. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Come on, bruh. Look at our schedule. Look, we only won 6 games last year. How many primetime games we got? 5? And that's not including Christmas, even though it should be, even though it's not prime time, but it's on a major holiday. It's a major holiday. You against the Kansas City Chiefs. You might as well say 6 main games we got. And then what, the last game we can flex? The last game could be flexed at the end of the season. That game might come down to a playoff spot. Bruh. And then you gave us a late bye. And then you look at the schedule when we come out that bye. Man, oh my God. The league is trying to set us up to get to the Super Bowl, bruh. Right now, shout out to the Las Vegas Golden Knights for winning the Stanley Cup. The Las Vegas is the hot spot of sports right now. Last year, WNBA champions Aces. This year, NHL Stanley Cup winner Golden Knights. Do the Raiders got next? Do the Raiders got next? Let me ask that question. Do the Raiders got next? Look, the Knights won it at home last night on their home ice. Do Raiders got next? Are we the next franchise to win in Vegas a championship at home? Bruh, they on a hot streak right now. They say the 3rd time's a charm. Raiders is in your court, bruh. Oh, and they just passed the money where the A's are getting a stadium. They passed, yes, they're going to be help funded over $300 million for the A's to get their stadium where the Tropicana is. Tropicana is about to be knocked down, so that's another team that they're bringing in here. It's a hot spot of sports right now, bruh. All eyes is on Vegas. So why not set up a team that's in Vegas to go ahead and be successful? Because, you know, the NFL wants that kind of publicity too. They want that publicity. The Aces, the Golden Knights. It got to be the Raiders next. It has to. It makes perfect sense. Out of major sports organizations, you got to be the next one. And your Super Bowl is featured here in that same city. You got to have a storyline. It sells. It makes money. It makes money. And I'm telling you, don't be surprised. Hey, in a perfect world, the Saints versus the Raiders. Super Bowl. Bruh, I'm telling you, that will be the most ridiculous ass Super Bowl ever in Super Bowl history. I don't give a damn. It is way outweighing Tampa Bay and the Raiders in 2002. By far. You got Gruden over there being a consultant. You got Dennis Allen as a head coach. You got Carr as a quarterback. You got Moreau as a tight end. You got Abram as a safety. Bruh, the storylines is just too... Bruh, I'm telling you, that is a go-getter. Man, that's a go-getter right there. Bruh, you got to remember, Carr ain't by himself with the Saints, bruh. And he's in a trash-ass fucking division. Trash-ass division. NFC ain't shit. I'm going to tell you like this. In the NFC, in that division, that means you can come off top with 6 wins off the top. 6 wins. In that NFC South. Ain't nothing in that fucking division scary. Green Bay ain't the same Green Bay if they gotta face them. Minnesota is let they fucking running back go. Look at it. Philadelphia legit. Dallas, come on. Dak Prescott gonna choke again. The Niners, who the fuck is the starting quarterback? And how are they recovering from their injury? Let's talk about that. There's teams in the NFC that's is big ass question marks. Big ass question. What the Bears gonna do with their young quarterback? Are they ready? Or nah? You know what I mean? Or nah? It's a lot of questions in the NFC to answer. A lot. A lot. I like it a lot. But they got a solid defense and they got offensive. Like I said, I'm not worried about Jimmy G because of the weapons around him. Look at the weapons Carr got. Come on, bruh. He got a defense and he got weapons in a weak-ass NFC conference. Weak-ass NFC conference. What you think Atlanta Falcons gonna do shit? Carolina? Bruh, they put the Raiders in the NFC South. Shit, do that. Hey, you better not. Hey, you let them gritty on. Hey, you can gritty on this dick. Oh shit. No, you can't. Pause. Don't gritty on this dick. No, don't gritty on Richard. Leave Richard alone. And that's the fact, right? Joel E. And look, if you can't at least beat the Chiefs, but we see, the last 2 years, what happened? You see what I mean? Even with a team that's not what people would consider a legitimate contending team, we pressed their ass last season in Kansas City with what we had. We pressed them. Bro, we pressed them. Then we beat them with Gruden and did the victory lap around their stadium. Like I said, we're not that far away, bro. We're not that far away. All you got to do is split with Kansas City. Just split. Split with Kansas City, and then they got to grade you by your divisional record. Denver ain't going to do shit this year. I'm going to tell y'all. Just because fucking what's name is their coaching, don't mean they going to get their act together overnight. Because when they got to get rid of the old system, and he's in a year one of implementing his system and analyzing the talent, the personnel that's on his team to see if he's going to keep them or let them go. He's doing what Josh McDaniels did last year. Denver ain't doing shit, bruh. They not doing shit. They got to go through the same process. Everybody on that team ain't staying in Denver. Come on now. When they fired the coach, you remember wasn't everybody on the selling block? All the receivers was mentioning on everybody must go. But I think it came down to what nobody gonna break bread and give them exactly what Denver wanted for an exchange of those quarterbacks and players that they put up for trade bait. Nobody, fuck no. You release the motherfucker, we'll sign him. But we not trading for that motherfucker. Motherfucking Judy Garland ass motherfucker. Julie Garland. Yeah, the old school chick. Look, Yannick Ngakoue is still a free agent. He out there. He just signed with Rosenhaus as his new agent. So he trying to, you know what I mean? I'm like, bruh, ain't you? We in the middle of June. There's only 2 weeks left in this month and we're in July. Camp opens up in July. Let's go. What the, you know what I mean? You gonna wait for and hope somebody go down with an injury or get released? But I mean, most likely any player that get released now is gonna be because of money. It's past June 1st, so it's gonna be money related. They're not gonna shed money and then try to. You're gonna probably play for cheap if you do sign. And Ngakoue get signed somewhere. Hey, like I say, the Saints is in a weak-ass division, and the NFC is a weak-ass conference. Weak-ass conference, bruh. Nothing. There's nothing to fear in the NFC. Who? All your hitters is in the AFC, bruh. All your hitters. All your hitters is AFC. So it's just, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But hey, shout out to all y'all, man, for pulling up, man. I'm gonna shut this shit down, bruh. And tomorrow is Thursday, so we're gonna get down with it. We'll be here again. There's gonna be some other shit to talk about. Like I said, they're still going through OTAs. Their last set of OTAs until tomorrow's their last day. So hopefully we'll get hopefully the media, they'll open it up to the media on Thursdays. That's usually what they do. But yeah, man, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for pulling up, man. Enjoy Ja Raider in the building, man. Dirty Low in here too. Hey, shout out to Dirty Low. Sam Tanker, what's the deal, man? Tops, thank you for being here. Man, right on to y'all, man. Hey, for real. But you guys enjoy your Wednesday hump day. And if you haven't done so, go hump somebody. Dry hump them. You know, pull out your tallywhacker and all that shit. Hump somebody on hump day. Make them feel appreciated and loved. Have you humped somebody today? You know what I mean? Hump somebody's leg or they butt or they get on. Hey, tell her you want a spooner. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Thank y'all for pulling up, man. This is Raiders Allegiance right here with Good Morning Raider Nation live podcast with your boy Lunatic Raider. Hey, shout out to the people watching, man. Please subscribe to the channel. That's all I ask, and hit that like button, man. Hey, let's get those numbers up, man. Let's get the algorithm going, representing the nation. You know what I mean? We hitting on all cylinders. I can't wait till we open up mandatory camp so we can really get into the nitty gritty of things, man, and see exactly how these young guys are reacting and how they're developing right before our eyes, man. So shout out to y'all, man. Hey, I'm dry humping my pillow. Give a fuck. I bet you that motherfucker don't get pregnant and I get hit for child support for 18 years. Bet you that don't happen. I've never, hold on, let me not brag too much. Let me knock on some wood. Knock on wood. I never paid child support or had to. Not that I was a deadbeat or nothing, but I never had to. My son got everything he needed. His mama asked, hey, can you get him this? Hey, no problem. Why would I argue? I ain't got it. I got it. I got paper for it. He gonna be taken care of, and thank God he ain't no fashion freak anyway. He don't give a fuck. You buy him a pair of shoes, he good. Hey, but the thing he trip off of, his anime and his motherfucking video games. But I mean, I can't lie, I like that shit too. Hey, anybody fuck with anime? Do you guys watch Demon Slayer? That's my shit, bruh. I'm on season 3 right now. We got the English dub finally. Man, that motherfucking anime go hard in the paint, bruh. I ain't gonna lie. If y'all watch some shit, watch that shit. That motherfucker, his sister is a fucking demon, but he keeps her in a box on his back like a backpack, and got the little, almost like the little sex. It's not a sex ball, but when I'm telling you how it works, in her mouth so she don't bite nobody and turn them. Hey, she go hard in the paint. Hey, right on, NorCal. Who wear Rolex? Hey, shout out to all y'all, man. Let me get up out of here, man, so I can take my ass to sleep, man. This is my Friday tonight, so I'm good after that. But hey, shout out to all y'all, man. Hey, members of the channel, I did release the Stan Goes to Jail skit. So y'all can go, if y'all members of the channel, y'all can go peep that out, man, before I release it to the whole public. But you guys get first dibs. There will be some more content this weekend. I'm not gonna do too much, but I am gonna go see the Flash movie. Oh, y'all need to go see Transformers. You got a couple of post-credit scenes, not way after the credit, but shallow. Hey, watch that shit. I'm not gonna tell y'all what they about to do with Transformers, bruh. I'm not gonna ruin it for you. That's a bomb-ass movie. Hey, but I'm gonna go see Flash this weekend. Take my boy to see that shit. But shout out to y'all, man. Let me get the fuck up out of here, man. I'm tripping. Y'all got me up here just getting excited, man. I love this shit. But man, a good show today, man. Thank y'all. Shout out to NorCal Raider Jesse. Exactly, man. Thank you for handling the mod in the chats, man. West Coast Hip Hop Awards. Tickets are on sale now through Eventbrite. You'll see the link in the chat. A host of West Coast artists will be there performing. There will be a car show as well. So at Adelanto, that was last year at the Burning Tree Festival, is at the same place, August 5th. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and run the little promo one again for the West Coast Hip Hop Award. Shout out to Octavius Miller, CEO of this event. I'm going down, y'all. Hey, check it out if y'all into it. Check that shit out.
And that boy, it's your nigga Yuck Mouth, man. And we present the West Coast Hip Hop Awards again, man. Live in LA, man. Where we at, baby?
Man, we're going to be at Atlanta Stadium. That's right. We're going to be at Atlanta Stadium August 5th. It's going down. You're not going to believe it. You name every West Coast artist, he going to be there. You got your 40s, your Snoop Dogg. You got your fucking Yuck Mouth. Guess what? Yuck Mouth's the fucking host. Can you believe that?
Yeah, bitch, you. Da-da-da.
August 5th.
Sir, so you already know about this time, same Raider channel. Tomorrow's going down 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. It is the Good Morning Raider Nation Live podcast right here on Raiders Allegiance with your boy Lunatic Raider. And you already know, like I always do about this time, I'm out this B.I.E.